Hi, everyone. We're back for Generational Talk. I'm Kristen Batista Frazee.
And I'm Hal Donahue. And today, what are we going to talk about, Kristen?
Well, first off, we got our what's on our mind. And, I caught a headline this morning in the New York Times. And today is Saturday, by the way. We're taping on a Saturday, January 31st. ICE expands powers of agents to arrest people without warrants. And that was already happening. We knew that was already happening, but apparently this week a memo came to light.
Wait, it's been happening since the beginning.
Yeah, it's been happening. I was kind of unclear as to if this was an expansion, but the New York Times is reporting it as an expansion because of a memo that came out from Todd Lyons, the acting director of the agency, just reinforcing the guidance. Maybe that's what was happening, that agents could enter homes with only an administrative warrant, not a judicial warrant. And this is
Interestingly, they haven't tried it yet, to the best of my knowledge.
tried which part?
Up in Minnesota, they haven't tried entering without a warrant.
I didn't know that.
They haven't been smashing in doors and things.
Okay.
That's what I hear. Now, I could be way off. Who knows what's really going on?
Yeah, and this reporting's coming when supposedly Trump is de-escalating, but there's no.
Well, stop. He's de-escalating, then he's not de-escalating, then he's doubling down. No one knows, including probably him, what he's doing. He's twisting in the wind.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. There's not been any consistency. I feel like people are just getting, grabbed off the street. I'm in the Florida Keys right now. That's what's happening here. And, law enforcement is in, lockstep with ICE and Customs and Border Patrol agents. They play this game. They stop cars for traffic stops and then hold people there, and then they get grabbed. So, but the interesting thing about this New York Times article is that the warrantless arrests they're expanding the definition of likely escape. Like if an agent feels there's a likely escape for an immigrant, that gives them the justification to grab them. So,
they've been there for 30 years, but they'll likely escape.
Right, exactly. They have kids, job, homes. Yeah, but they're gonna run, sure. But yeah, so tell me what's on your mind.
The same thing. It's utterly ridiculous what's going on. But I maintain we are in the middle of an ongoing coup. I maintain that ICE is Trump's private army. It's being trained now, and they just stifled the reporters. No one wanted to arrest Don Lemon or Georgia Ford, but Pam Bondi claims she did it on her own. They couldn't even find the justice to authorize the arrest, and went to, I think,
Right.
Missouri to get one.
Right. That's scary.
It's fascism. It's the government. The law is being used as a weapon, and it's being used to defend the MAGAs. Think of this. They weren't going to investigate the shooting of the innocent victims, demonstrators up in Minneapolis, but they were going to investigate the people who got shot.
Right.
That kind of, God knows what's in the Epstein files. They released 3 million pages, but they kept 3 million. If you don't think they're protecting the abusers, the well-off abusers, I've got another thing for you.
Yeah. We are recording this just a week after the murder of Alex Praddy, the ICU nurse who was, killed in Minneapolis at the hands of ICE agents. Actually, I think Customs and Border Patrol agents, but what's the difference anymore? So this week just seems like a market escalation, not de-escalation as Trump is claiming. So that's a
And to
lot. That's a lot to
distract,
have on our mind, right?
yeah, but and to distract, he's saber rattling in the not in the Red Sea off Iran. He's saber rattling. He's threatening to bomb the hell out of them unless they negotiate not to have nuclear weapons. All this is going on in the background while he pats Putin on the head in Ukraine. And the Americans are just spinning and they're getting no information. I mean, the US dollar is collapsing and they're going, oh, this is wonderful. No, it is really getting bad.
Yeah, I'm concerned about protesters and everyone's ability to not get overwhelmed and to kind of stay the course and protest. I wonder at some point if it becomes too much. I hope not, but I kind of see the signs of it. I know how I feel daily. It becomes like you wake up every day and you think, okay, what am I going to do today to pitch in for the cause? And it becomes harder to do that when you just want to, go about your daily life.
And the whole thing is you have a choice. And I keep telling people this is like it was in the Civil War. This is how it was in the Revolutionary War. 30% in the Revolutionary War were for freedom in the colonies, 30% were for the crown, and 30% hunkered down and tried to just not be noticed.
You're so right about that. Are you watching the Ken Burns American Revolution?
No, I have to. I want to.
Okay. My husband and I are watching it right now, and there's a lot of history they do not teach you in school. It was all, I feel like what I learned in school was very rah-rah, like, oh, the Americans, rose up and conquered all. And I didn't realize how many loyalists there were to the king. And my husband's family, like they came here pre-American Revolution, and we always heard the stories from my mother-in-law's side of the family. There was those that were loyal to the king, and they fled to Nova Scotia. Um,
Yeah.
and I thought, oh well, it's a one-off story, but really pervasive. Like you're saying, it's very reflective of what we're facing right now, maybe.
It is. And it is scary to be, these are scary times. I mean, people are right to be afraid. And I think the tactics of the resistance are brilliant. Don't form one mass. Have people act up here, act up there. Don't shop this place, don't shop that place, just keep moving around. Because I think one of the reasons Trump has the National Guard from the South, not that I'll address that too much, is that he has now a military force he feels that'll be loyal to him, where he got pushed back at Lafayette Park when he
Right.
hid down in the bunker. Let's
Right,
not
yeah.
forget he hid in
He
the
was
bunker
scared. He was
and
scared.
and he wanted to hide and wanted to shoot demonstrators. Can't we shoot them in the
Can't we
knees
shoot
or
them in the
something?
knees? Yeah, you're right. The tactics Minnesotans are using are brilliant. I have to share one that I saw this week. There's an adult shop in Minneapolis called the Smitten Kitten. And they sold a
I'm going to write
ton.
that down.
Smitten Kitten. Give a shout out to Smitten Kitten. So they saw, I think there were a bunch of protesters who went to the Smitten Kitten and they bought like hundreds of light up dildos, vibrators.
Yeah.
And they went to protest and they, you turn them on, they light up, and they started throwing them at the agents, at the Custom and Border Patrol and the ICE agents, and they started freaking out because they didn't know whether to pick it up. They didn't know, like,
They didn't
what do
know
you
what
do?
it was.
They didn't know what it was. So I have to say that was a stroke of brilliance on the part of the protesters. And
Have they ordered more?
I don't know. I have to follow up, but it's the Smitten Kitten in
Minneapolis?
Minneapolis. Great
I
story.
wonder if there's a large supply. I did
Hmm.
notice they're wearing hats from Norway. Did you
I
see
saw that
that?
too. Yeah, I saw that too. And I think people I know are starting to download the pattern and make the hats.
Exactly. And
So
it's a
that's
good
great.
thing.
It's a good thing. Oh, and don't forget to wear the paper clip if you're out there protesting. I'm a big
Now,
fan
to
of the
remind everybody, what's the paperclip?
so the paperclip resistance is go to the paperclip resistance website, and it's a whole effort by Janice and Ollie Peterson to revive the practice, the Norwegian practice of wearing a paperclip. During the Nazi takeover in Norway, teachers and students began to wear the paperclip as a sign of the resistance against the Nazis, and it became a symbol that picked up steam during that time. Eventually, the Nazis found out about what it meant, and the people who wore the paperclip got sent to concentration camps and were prosecuted and killed. But it's a really inspiring
Same as
sign
with
of
the hats.
resistance.
Those hats were
It's just,
outlawed.
yeah, it's same in the hats, right? So, we have these little signs that inspire us and kind of hold us together as community.
And so that's good. We have to fly colors. We have to. We
Definitely.
don't have to. If you don't want to get in people's faces, just wear something subtle.
Right. Yeah. So, well, as we try to keep this, within a certain amount of time, it's next to transition to what we're working on. I don't know if you got any projects that you're focusing on. I got a couple things that are coming up. Actually, just really one thing. The Women Forward writing workshop is happening this coming week on February 2nd and 6th, and you could go to womenforward.us/right to win to learn more about it. Well,
That's really good. I strongly recommend it.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, we actually got a lot more signups than ever. I think this might be our best attended workshop yet. So I hope it really helps. And then in the month of February, we're doing a writing challenge. So we have a challenge to the Women Forward community, and really anybody can join in to write 30 letters in 30 days. And in parentheses, obviously, 30 letters or more. We want way more than 30 letters, but we were
Now,
trying
one
to.
individual can't publish 30 letters.
No, I mean, publish or submit, and we've expanded the mission. It's letters to the editor, to write a letter to your representative, write a letter to a corporate
Oh,
CEO.
good.
So it gives people more options. But so we move into best and worst of the week.
Yes, it's
Oh,
got to be. The best and worst in my book has to be Melania's film.
hands down. It's so funny. We both came up with the same one. Same one. We
For
talked
both
this.
categories.
I know we both for both categories. We both jumped on today. Hey, what are you going to talk about? And we both thought of the same thing, which I thought it was meant to be that we were supposed to talk about it in this
I hate to
segment.
give it publicity, but it's too ludicrous to not.
I know, I know. Have you seen some of the reviews?
Yes, I have. They are somewhat astonishing. And I've also seen some of the memes or whatever. Do you know her gaucho hat that she had, that black and white with the gaucho hat she showed up on?
On Inauguration Day, the big,
Yeah,
yes.
they had a sign across the thing. Nope.
Oh my God. I
And
love,
they're using that to white letters on it to post.
oh, that's funny. Yeah, Jon Stewart's done a lot about that hat. Just he mocks the hat and how the brim is so wide that she couldn't even really lean in to kiss Donald on the cheek or give a
Well, there's a good
congratulatory.
reason for that, I
Yes,
think.
that's exactly
Maybe
what.
that's the reason for that.
Maybe so. But it's just it's so standoffish too, right? Isn't it? It's so in embodies her personality, right? That
Well, I
hat.
don't know if it is her personality. Her email to Ghislaine Maxwell was really kind of friendly and everything, and showed a different side of her, I thought.
Oh, I hadn't heard about this email.
Oh
Is it
yeah, the early 2000s, her and Ghislaine were texting back and forth or
chummy?
emailing back and forth.
They were
Eh,
BFFs? Is that...
Yeah, they were
Wow. Wow.
BFFs.
Okay.
And I told you that supposedly, according to Epstein, who's now dead, of course, Melania and Trump first hooked up on the Lolita Express, Epstein's
Wow.
jet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I
Oh
got
man.
TikTok pulled it down because the Trump people complained. And I put up the reference saying that here's what Epstein said. And I said reportedly, and they put it back up.
Wow.
That was
Okay.
the old Chinese TikTok. I don't know what had happened today.
Yeah, I don't even know who owns TikTok today. So,
Ellis, Keith Ellis.
is that happened? That transition has happened?
That's happened.
Oh wow. Bad sign. Bad sign.
Bad sign. And there's been disruptions, a lot of
You
disruptions.
know, I know you're on TikTok a lot. I'm not. It's not
I'm
a,
not. I'm not on any of them a lot, believe it or not. I get on for about a half hour and go to all the places,
mm,
and then I bail again.
yeah, I just I know it's a very reachable tool to young audiences. I felt like I already have quite a few social media places. Like there's just so many you can maintain, I feel like.
Well, Final hooked me up with TikTok, if you recall, way back when,
I do. I do.
and
I remember I
that's
tried
where
it.
that's where my three things started. So I mean,
I think it was very worthwhile, right?
yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
And now
so
I'm on Blue Sky, and I like Blue Sky a
I'm
lot.
on Blue Sky too. I like Blue Sky.
And then I'm trying to build up on YouTube. I'm not having much luck there.
I don't know much about YouTube, quite frankly. But I think all of the above is worth perusing and
Yeah,
experimenting.
Instagram I'm doing quite well on. So,
That's great. But back to the Melania documentary, I just have to share with you this review I found. It's
oh
just so
please,
funny.
please.
So The Guardian gave it 1 1/5, 1/5 stars. Is that even possible? Like 1/5 stars? And they
Probably could
say,
only get that ink stain there.
no, right? 2 hours of Melania feels like pure and endless hell. It's
Oh
like,
no, ICE will start using it now in their detention facilities and paying a royalty to Melania, of course.
oh God. Anything is
Watch for it. I'm telling you.
anything is possible these days. I'm telling you, that is so true.
Any
Uh,
grift Trump will take. He's suing the Social Security. In other words, he's suing himself to get billions of dollars off them.
yeah,
I mean, it's
just
a grift. Everything's a grift. Same with
just
Melania.
yeah, just unbelievable. What is this other one I found? The Daily Beast's Kevin Fallon calls it an unbelievable abomination of filmmaking and asks, why was no one standing outside the cinema where I made the brave decision to attend the first opening day screening of Melania's documentary, offering me a selection of I Survived the movie novelty t-shirts for purchase, or perhaps a little mug? So the idea of merching out people's experience having to watch it just struck me as so funny.
You're on Facebook.
I am on Facebook.
That's they have the I survived the such and such a storm.
That is true. Oh my
We
gosh,
could I survive the Melania film, but it'd
I
be a lie.
I
I
got
just couldn't do it. I couldn't
I
go. I don't recommend going.
I gotta look and see if there's already a group that's popped up.
There probably has to be.
Yeah. So I know we said the worst is really the Melania movie just to get a good laugh, but I have to say, and I don't feel like we can end without talking about Alex Preddy's death and the murder,
Good.
just and Goods. Yeah, we can't forget that one. But absolutely the worst. Absolutely the
They
worst.
are heroes of the what's coming to be a revolution from the looks of things.
I wanted to ask you, I saw I guess a article popped up in my feed, kind of equating the shootings at Kent State, the students that died, and that they created a revolution that brought an end to the Vietnam War. And they were somewhat equating it to the deaths of Good and Preddy. And I wanted to hear what you thought about that. I know you lived through that occurrence, and
Well,
do you agree with that?
the murders at Kent State, and there were murders, you could call it a massacre even, was actually the end. That is when the World War II generation, many of who were against the us flower children, quote unquote, that they just turned away in disgust. I mean, my mother-in-law, who worked in aircraft factories down in New Jersey, was crying about it. When she saw it on the news,
Oh,
I mean, that was the capstone. That was enough. It's stopping right here. That's basically when it ended, I think. This is
yeah,
kind of like Bunker Hill. This is when it starts,
this is when it starts.
because
This
it
is when it
definitely
starts.
seems to be starting across the nation.
I
As
hope
long as
so.
we can keep it peaceful,
Yes, we must.
we must keep, even when they do violence, we have to counter peace. They cannot handle peaceful counters.
You're right.
And peaceful means you starve them. You don't do business. You work with each other. And I'm telling people, and I've been saying this for a year now, get to know your neighbors, know who you can trust, know who you can't, work internet, work together, because at some point they'll take down the internet or block every kind of bit of news.
Maybe.
And so you have your neighbors, you have mail, you can interconnect with other people. I mean, the resistance against the Nazis is not a bad analogy. I mean, the French, even the Germans had strong resistance movements
Right.
that created havoc.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, I appreciate that perspective. We're getting up to our time limit. I mean, we could talk so much longer, I know, but we don't want
I
to make
think
this.
people's patience with this is
Yeah,
probably running out.
right. We could stop recording and then keep talking. But anyway, I'm so glad we did this and that we're trying to do this. And you got to end with your line, Hal.
See you in the streets and at the polls.
There you go. All right. So until next time, we're out.
Bye.